Hello guys, how's it going? My name is Al. Over the next few weeks, we got additional content arriving for both Classic and the retail versions of World of Warcraft. All the retail realms are getting the patch 10.2.5 in just a handful of days. Classic Season of Discovery Phase 2 will be arriving in less than a month on February the 8th, which leaves you with just a handful of weeks left to prepare for all of the new features arriving to Season of Discovery. And so far for me, SOD has been a ton of fun, which has been a genuine surprise since I had a hard time getting into original Classic as well as Wrath of the Lich King. Just about everybody I know, especially in the region of EU, has been giving it a try and has been having a blast with it. And with the Phase 2 arriving very soon, this means even more content as well as runes and class abilities are being injected to freshen up the Season of Discovery experience, with plenty of endgame PvE content such as a lot of new dungeons as well as the new Gnomeregan Raid, but also plenty of new open world PvP experiences for us to discover. If you are yet to give SOD a proper chance, then in today's video I wanted to go over all of the newest content that you should be excited for when it comes to the Season 2 of the Classic Plus experience. But right before that, regular YouTuber stuff. Most of you guys watching these videos are still not subscribed. However, the more of you remind, the more of you do. So let's keep it going. Subscribe to the channel and ring the bell if you're watching these videos anyway. Especially if you want to get more regular content regarding Dragonflight 10.2 or even potentially more Classic Plus Season of Discovery content. First of all, we get a new level band in Phase 2, with our character's max level increased from 25 up to 40. And with the new level cap, it means a ton of new zones have now opened up as a new leveling ground, with many new areas such as Ultrarek Mountains, Arathi Highlands, STV, Dustwallow Marsh, and Badlands now open for both adventure as well as rune discovery. And with a high level cap, it means even more dungeons are now available for scouring for loot and treasures, such as Scarlet Monastery, all 4 instances, the Graveyard, Library, Armory, as well as the Cathedral. We also got the Uldaman instance that's also now available, as well as Razorfan Downs, and over in Tanaris we have the Zul'Farrak, which all contain a ton of iconic gear pieces, weapons, and other items for all of you to collect. For more PvE-oriented endgame players, we have the new raid of Gnomeregan, which is very similar to Blackfathom Deep's dungeon, which was turned into a mini 10-man raid. The same thing is happening to the raid of Gnomeregan, with a lot of bosses, mechanics, and the environment itself turned into a raid instance. This means that we can expect for every single boss in the new raid to get additional mechanics similar to what we've seen in BFD, as well as additional treasures and rewards. Though what every single boss contains when it comes to their loot is still hidden from us since there's no official PTR for Season of Discovery Phase 2. Though if it's anything like BFD, then Gnomeregan should be an absolute banger. But for those of you that are more PvP-oriented endgame players, there will be some sort of a new world PvP event similar to the Battle for Ashen Vale, meaning the community are assuming it will likely be Stranglethorn Vale as the prime playground for PvP everywhere, though nothing has been officially confirmed just yet. Though it was hinted that some sort of a Blood Moon event was happening somewhere in STV during some of the promotion material for Phase 2, so while it's not a confirmation, STV is definitely one of the more iconic candidates for open world PvP in Season of Discovery. But with Phase 2, we also got a ton more class changes arriving. One of them is going to be new class runes, though none of these runes and class abilities have been confirmed since we mentioned earlier, there's no PTR to test Season of Discovery early, which is part of the fun since that would kind of take the discovery out of the Season of Discovery. However, we do know from some of the earlier data mining that additional rune slots will likely be arriving with future phases of Season of Discovery. Currently, we can only imbue chest, legs, and hand slots with runed abilities. However, even more rune slots have been previously data mined in some of the earlier Season of Discovery builds, with other slots such as the Bracer slot, Cloak, Feet, Helm, Shoulder, and even a Waist slot, all technically having access to a rune slot that could be engraved into all of those different items. So potentially we may even get 1 or even 2 more slots with the Phase 2 update, as there are up to 9 total slots that could potentially be imbued with a rune at some point in the future. And that's a lot of runes that could potentially transform your classes in even wilder ways than we could have imagined. Though what those possible runes could be is still mostly obscured since there's no real PTR testing, though some of the earlier data mining could suggest abilities such as Efflorescence for druids, a rune called Path of Arthas for paladins, and even what looks like a Gladiator Stance passive for warriors. Though if any rune were to be added, as a rogue main, I would love to see Fan of Knives become available for tank rogues specifically, just because it would make dungeon tanking a ton easier, especially when it comes to maintaining aggro, since we are the one class that can't cleave or AoE enemies when it comes to dungeon content. Though another rune that was hinted at recently in the WoWcast episode was a two-handed enhancement shaman rune. A lot of shamans felt at the very beginning of SOD the two-handed playstyle was getting very much sidelined, while the dual-wield playstyle was heavily promoted. So it's very much possible that we could be seeing the return of the two-handed enhancement shaman for the second phase of SOD. Though with higher levels we are getting access to Blade Flurry, which I guess is better than nothing, but I would still love to see Fan of Knives make a return to SOD. Speaking about classes and talents, we also get access to 31 talent points, which opens up the ability for us to grab up some of the more powerful capstone choices for every single spec in the game, which will really help open up certain playstyles to be even stronger than ever, and even help players craft a variety of different builds with some of the stronger talent choices available towards the bottom rows. And with higher levels, many of our classes get some of the more powerful abilities imaginable for Seasonal Discovery, with classes like Druids getting access to Hurricane, Tranquility, and even feral abilities such as Bite, Pounce, and Ravage. Mages will get access to portals at level 40. You won't be able to travel everywhere in Azeroth just yet, but you will be able to get back to Orgrimmar as well as Stormwind a little bit easier. And you also finally get access to your defensive Ice Block ability. Classes like Hunters will get access to party buffs such as the True Shot aura. And so do Shamans with a variety of different totems, from Elemental Resistance totems to the Wind Fury totem, Mana Spring totem, Grounding totem, and even the Magma totem. Warlocks will get access to their Hellfire ability to AoE enemy mobs, as well as the Curse of the Elements to debuff powerful bosses. Classes will also get access to new class quests, which will help them unlock unique class-specific items, which will only make some of those playstyles a little bit stronger. Besides this, we also have some of the smaller features arriving to Phase 2, with one of them being us getting access to mounts at level 40. So ahead of time, you may want to stock up on a little bit of gold to not only being able to afford your mount, but also the mount training required in order to start moving more freely out in the open world. We also get bigger backspaces, with professions either being able to craft additional back slots, or you can even chance at getting some of the journeyman backpacks from some of the level 41 mobs. Lastly, we also get a ton of new items that you can now craft with some of the higher levels of professions. And I really don't want to undersell professions for this video. I'm just someone who's never really enjoyed working on professions for classic or even retail WoW, but profession items could be huge with some of the different items that they could add as part of the Phase 2, similar to what we've seen with some of the Void items in Phase 1. And you can actually start the prep work right now ahead of Phase 2, so you can be there and ready to craft some of the best items available from those professions. As always, I want to thank all of you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments below. Specifically, I'd like to hear some of you guys' thoughts. Which class do you think is going to be your go-to for the Phase 2 of SOD? Are you going to stick around with the same class you've been playing with this entire time in Phase 1, or do you think it's about time to make a change for Phase 2? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments. As per usual, if you guys enjoyed this video or found it informative, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would very much appreciate it. And as always, in the description of every single video and live stream, we have a link to our Discord community channel. Probably the best place to reach out to me directly in case you want to let me know what you thought about this video, or hang out with the rest of the community to discuss some of the upcoming changes. Join our Discord to become part of the community. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching this video. I do hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know all of your thoughts down below. And as always, I'll see all of you guys in another video.